Hello students. In the previous class we had studied the uses of microorganisms, in which we had studied the use of microorganism in making bread, alcohol and in curd. The bacteria which is used to make curd is lactobacillus. We had studied that, and we had studied the definition of fermentation as the process of conversion of sugar into alcohol in the presence of yeast. So coming to the next use of microorganism, the medicinal use. Medicinal use, that means as medicine. So you might have heard the word antibiotics, which the doctor gives to you when you may be having fever. So, what are antibiotics? They are actually the medicines that kill or stop the growth of the disease causing microorganisms. So, the disease causing microorganism, it can be bacteria. So, if these microorganisms are causing harm to you and you may get a disease. So, antibiotics are what? They are the medicines that will kill that microorganism, kill that bacteria. So, antibiotics are medicines that kill or stop the growth of disease causing microorganism. Examples are streptomycin, tetracycline, and erythromycin. So, erythromycin is the antibiotic which is made from fungi. See, even streptomycin, tetracycline, these are made from fungi. Penicillin, you might have heard of penicillin, that is made from penicillium. Penicillium, that is again a fungi. So these are antibiotics. Now these antibiotics, you might have seen that when you go to the doctor, he prescribes you antibiotics and he tells you to take the complete dose. So that is very important, that if he has given you the medicine for 5 days, you should try to eat that medicine for 5 days. It's not that for 2 days you eat and you feel that your fever has gone down and you stop eating. That's not right. You should complete the dose, then only that microorganism which is in our body, it will be killed. Otherwise that will remain in the body, and in future again after few days you will again get that disease, because that microorganism will divide. So there are few precautions to be followed while taking antibiotics. So first one is the antibiotics should be taken only on the advice of a qualified doctor. You should not go to the medical store and just ask for an antibiotic. It's not right. If the doctor has not prescribed you antibiotic, you are not needed to eat antibiotic, you need not eat. Only if the doctor is prescribing you an antibiotic, you should eat it. Second, complete the course prescribed by the doctor. That's what I said. If it has been written for 5 days, you eat the medicine for 5 days. Take proper dose. If the doctor has told to eat 1 tablet, you should eat 1 tablet. It's not that you eat half a tablet or you eat 2 tablets. Only the proper dose which the doctor has advised you, that should be taken. It should not be it should not take antibiotics We should not take antibiotics unnecessarily, as it may kill the beneficial bacteria in the body. Suppose you got a small fever now, and at that moment you find you have an antibiotic which the doctor has prescribed you earlier when you had fever, and you take that. That is not correct, because maybe that fever will not, the microorganisms will not be too effective there, and you are taking antibiotics, so the beneficial bacteria which are there in your body, that also will be killed. So we should not take antibiotics until and unless the doctor prescribes it. So we should be very careful while taking antibiotics. Coming to the next medicinal use of microorganism, vaccine. You all have heard vaccination. You all might have been given a vaccination when you were small. So what is it actually? Why is it done? It is, vaccination is given to protect from certain disease causing microorganism. Antibiotics you are taking to kill the microorganism. Vaccination you are being given to prevent. You have heard, no, prevention is better than cure. So vaccination is being taken so that you are prevented from a disease. Nowadays a lot of work is done by scientists to find out a vaccination for corona. So why are they doing that? So that people, if they take vaccination, that corona will not affect them. So vaccination is taken to protect from disease. Now several diseases like cholera, tuberculosis, smallpox and hepatitis can be prevented by vaccination. If you see your vaccination card, you can ask your parents to show your vaccination card. If you see your vaccination card, you might have seen that you have been given the vaccination for all these diseases, cholera, tuberculosis and all. You might have been given the vaccination. Now, who discovered vaccine for smallpox? Now, as now we people are having a tough time with corona, in the same way, in the year 1798, a disease called smallpox had affected many people around the world. So what was done at that time? Edward Jenner, he discovered vaccine for smallpox, and now smallpox is completely eradicated. So that is because of vaccination. A worldwide campaign against smallpox has led to its eradication from most parts of the world. Now, pulse polio immunization program. You might have heard pulse polio immunization program, which is given to children. Polio drops are given to children below 5 years, and every year 2 times. This is given to children before 5 years. That is free of cost. So, in many parts of India earlier there were children who were born with with this disease polio, because their hands or legs will not be may not be developed, and these are the symptoms of polio, that their hands and legs may not be developed. So in order to eradicate polio from our country, pulse polio immunization program has been started, and every year 2 times polio drops are given to children below 5 years free of cost. And of course, India has, because of this pulse polio immunization program, polio has been eradicated from India. Now, how does this vaccine work? So, when a disease causing, now what are we doing in vaccination? What are we doing actually? We are causing a microbe enter into our body. We are trying to kill the we are trying to prevent the microorganisms in our body. So first, in vaccination, actually we are trying to enter the microorganism into our body. So whenever a foreign body enters our body has the capacity to produce antibodies. Now I'll tell you, this microorganism is like a enemy. An antibody is like a soldier who is fighting against this enemy. So whenever an enemy like microorganism is entering into a body, the soldier who is the antibody, he will try to fight against this microorganism. That is the thing that happens. So in vaccination, what is done? These antibodies are entered into our body in the form of very weak microbes. Very weak. These microbes, they should not cause harm to the body. In that way, very weak microbes are entered into our body. So these microorganisms are entered into our body in a very mild manner, in a very weak manner. These microbes are entered into our body. So microbes are what? They are the enemy. So when these microbes enter into our body, what is our body producing? Antibodies. They are the soldiers. So the antibodies will produce in our body. So these antibodies will remain in your body throughout your life. So that is, these soldiers will remain in your body throughout your life. So that is the main thing how it happens in vaccination. You are injecting a weak microbe in the body. Your body produces antibodies, and that antibody will remain in your body throughout your life. So next time, suppose that virus or that antibody or that that microbe is entering your body remembers that yes, this was the person, this was the enemy who entered that time, and I have to fight against it. So antibodies will try to fight against those microbes. So that is what will happen in vaccination. That is why now people are trying to find out the vaccine for coronavirus, because if that vaccination is found out, if it is injected into the body, our body should produce antibody and it will fight against that virus. Okay, so next here the antibodies, that's what written here. If in this dead or weakened microbes in the form of vaccine are introduced into a healthy body, the body fights and kills them by producing suitable antibodies. The antibodies remain in the body and we are protected from the disease causing microbes. Several diseases like cholera, tuberculosis, smallpox and hepatitis are prevented by vaccination. Some of you might have got chickenpox, like chickenpox, or like if a person gets chickenpox once in a life, that person, it is said, that will not get chickenpox next time. Why? Because once that chickenpox is affected from our body has got the antibodies to fight against it. So next time that virus will not enter our body. Even if that virus enters, antibodies will try to fight against it and protect the body. So that is how vaccination works. And Another use of microorganisms is increasing soil fertility. So some bacteria and blue-green algae are able to fix nitrogen from the atmosphere. Fixing nitrogen from the atmosphere means nitrogen cannot be directly taken by plants or animals, so that has to be converted into some usable forms. So that is called fixing of nitrogen from the atmosphere to enrich soil with nitrogen and increase its fertility. And these microbes are commonly called biological nitrogen fixers. So they are found in the roots of leguminous plants. Leguminous plants means pulses and all. Then another use of microorganisms are they help in cleaning the environment. Microorganisms, they decompose dead organic waste of plants and animals and convert them into simple substances. So microorganisms, you might have seen compost pit. How is it working? You are throwing the waste in that, and microorganisms, they are trying to decompose it and they convert it into manure. So they are actually cleaning the environment. So these substances are again used by other plants and animals. Thus microorganisms can be used to degrade the harmful and smelly substances and thereby clean the environment. So the microorganisms, they are trying to act as decomposers, and they will make the environment clean. Okay, so that is a use of microorganism as helping to clean the environment. In the next class we'll see harmful microorganisms. How are they harmful?